What's up, everybody? This is Dan French. You guys know LB Crib Tours. Also, I have a channel, Propyland. I want to give you guys a quick update. Market update. I'm with Simply Vegas. Been doing real estate for a long time. Big difference between transactions versus doing real estate, by the way. I'm not going to get into detail on all that, but what it is it comes down to how much have you seen, how many transactions have you done, and I think that obviously brings a lot of credibility and ways of navigating to getting deals closed. So again, if you guys don't know the channel, I do put out some property tours. I also talk a lot about what's going on in the real estate world, and I live here in the fabulous Las Vegas, Nevada. Very hot Las Vegas. We had a record, man, I think it was like 7 days in a row, 115 plus. So anybody out there that likes hot weather, I'm your guy. I'll help you get into a house. You just got to stay cool, right? Let's get into this, guys. So everybody out there knows that the Las Vegas Valley market has seen its ups and downs. You know, when you talk about the real estate world, it's very much a roller coaster. I think a lot of people come out here because the cost of living is maybe less where they're from. I mean, it's not no secret. Californians, East Coast, West Coast come out here. That's roughly about 50% of our transition of new people, new residents coming to Las Vegas. A lot of gambling, a lot of things that attracts people to Las Vegas, but a lot of people don't want to stay. A lot of times they stay here for about a year, maybe a little bit longer, and then they either stick around or they're gone. So today I'm going to talk about the Las Vegas market, and there was a very interesting article that did come out. I want to bring this up here. This is by the Las Vegas Review Journal, and it says rents are ridiculously high, mortgages are high, everything is just too expensive, and everybody's complaining. And then you even have, Lombardo. He's coming out saying we need a lot more affordable housing. He's putting pressure on Biden to do that. And so when you look at this, rents are ridiculously high. I see it, man. I see a lot of people. I talk to them. They're struggling. You know, landlords want more money. They're obviously maybe pinched themselves as far as finances go. And everybody thinks out there that people that are landlords just have an abundance of money. I'm going to say that they don't. You know, there's a lot that do, but I'm going to say that there's some that do not as well. And so for me, I'm looking at this thing, going through this article. People are trying to decide if they should put food on the table and or pay. Are they being forced to pay a lot more money to choose between putting or eating and putting a roof over their head? A lot of people are in that position. You also look at these people here saying the average household in Las Vegas now needs to make above the median price income just afford just the average rent, well over $100,000 to afford a mortgage payment. Well, you're absolutely right. I mean, look, people taking all this money and free money, and also economy shut down and things now when you come back, they're considerably higher, 15, 17% in inflation higher. Even though they're saying that inflation's coming down, that doesn't mean that the average American out there has a better lifestyle or position in life. So when you talk about shelter and housing, the biggest thing we see all the time is, landlords coming in and buying up everything. They bought 264 homes in one day. Man, we've been talking about this. I've been talking about this for a year. These things keep happening. And until everybody looks at this, Starwood Capital Group sold 264 homes in Clark County for $98 million to a Dallas-based Invitation Homes, according to Clark County property records. A lot of people don't have the funds or the money to put down on a house and really just to afford the mortgage payment. I have a lot of past clients and things. I talk to them on a regular basis. They're just not ready. They can't do it. They're tapped out. And then they don't want to switch from one house to another house with a higher interest rate, higher payment. It makes no sense. So American affordability is not just going down and has been down. It already has been. And it's also been like this across the country. When you look at today, let's look at some of the numbers. Okay. So when you look at prices and you look at prices of homes, average sale price for a single family residence, we tapped out May of 2022. If you guys can see this graph, May of 22, the highest price ever for housing here in Las Vegas, average median price 41. Then we went down. Everybody's like, well, this is the crash. And we're going to keep going down. And I told everybody this is not going to be the crash. We hit 425, stayed there, right? Even though rates went up, people still bought. And you could see it slowly went back. It's about supply and demand. People living in California and other places, they'd rather live here. You also have a lot of foreign money, Chinese. They come here to plant their money. But then it came down to 445. But guess where we're at today? We are only $6,000 from the average median price home of where we were at on a record high back in 2022. So if everybody out there thinks that they're waiting on this whole market thing to crash, it's not going to happen. It's going to take something unforeseen, something crazy for this thing to happen. When you look at new listings are down to 2,996. You got to look. In June of 2022, we were at 5,000. We've been hovering under 3,000 homes on the market for over a year. What does that tell you? One, people are not leaving. Rates are too high. Where are they going to go? Are they going to reposition themselves for a better place? Probably not. Also, too, the ones that are listed, they are getting sold, because when you have less supply on the market, you have still a lot of buyers or people that want to buy a home. They're willing to pay a premium because that's all they know. So when you look at this, we even dipped down to December of last year to 1,630 homes. When you look at the total days on the market, 29 days. And I always tell people, I'm a lister. I do most listings. I'm not saying I don't help with buyers, but the changes that's going on out there. And so when you look at these things that's going on with us, buyer's broker agreement, all these things that's going on, everybody, I'm dedicated to being a listing agent at this point. You control things. You can be a little bit better on what's going to get paid, what's not going to get paid. And when you're a buyer's agent and somebody is going to you and saying, hey, Mr. Buyer or Mrs. Buyer, can you pay me my commission? That's going to be tough. Now, is it going to change altogether? No, because it's still the same way. But then now there's more room for negotiation. You can't put it on the MLS. So I think there's going to be a lot of speculation on how that's all going to unfold and how people are really going to react to that. Now, closed sales. Let's go to closed sales. 2,106 closed sales. So you can see that, again, 2022, we had a lot higher. April or March of 2021, 3,742, right? So we just don't have as many homes on the market. Ever since rates went up, it's been a balancing act, up and down, mostly hovering right below that 2,500 mark of how many homes are sold. So again, you looked at that, pending sales. We have about 2,160 pending sales. And the total homes for sale right now is up right about 4,967. So again, when you talk about all of these things, we're looking at the market and trying to give you, or at least I'm trying to give you my best analysis of what I see happening. I don't think anything's going to happen until after the election. If rates come down, our economy will start to get back to where it needs to be. But then you're going to run risk of prices going higher, because when rates come down, then you have competition, especially if it's low supply. The best thing to happen to us would be to have people have more confidence, sell their home, and have confidence with that, have rates come down, but not come down to say 2 or 3%. And the reason I say that is when money's that cheap, you're going to have people overpaying for a home. So there's got to be a perfect blend of supply and demand for any economy to do well. I think when you look at this situation with us here in Las Vegas, I think we've been struggling with the fact that prices have gone up. And I feel that when you look at people looking to move, a lot of people just don't want to move based on the fact that when you look at an average household median, income wage earner that's going to need to get into a house at $471,000 or $476,000, that number, you're going to be pushing at least a $3,500 mortgage payment if you're putting down the minimum amount. And then you got to ask yourself, above all of that, you still got to qualify. You might have a car payment, credit card, student loans, car loan. I had somebody recently try to come to me, and everybody knows I do real estate and I do financing with Southwind Financial, and they wanted me to do both sides. And they said, look, can I qualify for a house where I'm at today? This person made $11,000 a month, $11,000 on average. Part of that was retirement. Part of it is they were working, and based off the home that they wanted, $600,000, and their current debt with some student loans, they couldn't qualify. At $11,000 a month, they couldn't qualify for a $600,000 home today. So it just tells you, look, there is people out there that want to buy homes. I know that, there's a lot of foreign money, people wanting to plant their money. A lot of Chinese and people like that want to come in and they want to, put their money here in, Las Vegas, because it's especially America itself, because it's a very strong position to put your money into a house. Overall, housing has never declined and shelter's always gone up. So that's one thing. So that's going to keep sustaining, I think, economies. But overall, the average person out there is really struggling with the idea of consumer confidence, with rates being as high and they just got worse. And can they actually sustain a mortgage payment long term? I feel a lot of people just don't want to take that risk. They'd rather stay on the sidelines and rent or figure out an alternate route. So if you guys have any questions about this, I'm going to have some market information that you guys could take a look at. And then you guys know I'm your go-to realtor out here in Las Vegas. Hit me up, Dan French, Simply Vegas. I'll see you guys at the next one.